1192 Crescent Drive, San Jose, California, 95125 is listed at $4,499,000, but it's not going to sell for that price. Today, I'm going to give you my honest take on this home so that if you ever decide to buy or sell, you won't make the same mistakes. The finishes in this home are spectacular and the location is top tier, so this home really should be a slam dunk. But once you walk it, the flaws are really hard to unsee, and it's why this home is overpriced by over $500,000, and it's going to affect the outcome of the sale. When I score it across my 5 core categories, the same framework I use to evaluate every home, this property gets a 38.6 out of 50. That's a problem if you want a premium price, especially with current market conditions. I'm going to show you why, and at the end, I'm going to share what this home will really sell for and why it might sit on the market for a while. Let's start with the location and lot. 1192 Crescent Drive scores an 8.8 out of 10. It is located in the heart of Willow Glen, which is in the top tier of desirability for San Jose. Within Willow Glen, it is also in a great spot, which is highly walkable to local services, restaurants, and shopping. But to get a higher score, it needs a larger lot and better curb appeal. Something you would find on the longer, densely tree-lined streets nearby, where most of the homes are sitting on a quarter-acre or larger lots. Those homes have better privacy, better outdoor living spaces, better sightlines, and higher values across the board. This lot is 67 feet wide and 109 feet deep, so you still have plenty of room to build a larger home. But what the owners decided to build here is a big mistake. Next up, I give this one a 6.7 for architecture and design. And here's the key headline. They built the wrong house for the lot, and that is going to cost the owners over $500,000. With 67 feet of frontage, this lot is plenty large enough to build a larger home. The only problem is you're limited to a certain newer style that some people call McMansions if you want the most square footage. It's the most common layout on smaller lots, with the garage on one side, the entry in the middle, and an office or bedroom on the other side. Instead, it seems like they didn't do a full demo and kept the majority of the footprint of the original house and popped up on one side, which creates awkward proportions. The tall second floor massing on the left side dominates the front and throws off the visual balance. If they had built a second story on the right side, it would have made much more sense, more symmetrical, less lopsided, more pleasing aesthetically. But because they chose this design and kept the detached garage in the rear, they got handcuffed. And it really creates all the problems with sightlines and layouts that I'll explain later. I do want to highlight that volume is phenomenal in this house, with high ceilings on the main level and cathedral ceilings on the second. That's a 10. Next, sightlines and privacy. This house gets a 6.9 out of 10 for sightlines and privacy. The main level is the problem. There's no window exposure flanking the entry, so as soon as you walk in, you get this darker tunnel-like feel. And worse, the main living area faces and opens directly onto the driveway and faces the garage. You also have rear neighbors with windows looking into the living room and outdoor area, so privacy is an issue. You also don't get that sense of openness from long interior sightlines because the center of the home isn't open. Upstairs is much better. I'd give that level a 9, but weighted by usage and size, the main level drags the whole total down. All right, now on to the layout, which I scored a 7.2 out of 10. Technically, it's a large home. High ceilings, lots of square footage and volume, but you've got this awkward dining area with a tight traffic path if the chairs are pulled out and people are seated. And having 2 bedrooms on the first floor just takes away from common living spaces and makes them feel more cramped than it needs to. Plus, this is really a feature that appeals to a smaller buyer audience, so I just don't get the choice here. There's really no outdoor living space either, just the driveway. And no one, literally no one, is going to set up a sitting area or dining table on this driveway as this staging suggests. That's just silly. You also get 2 laundry rooms, which makes the upstairs one redundant and wasted space. Another big issue, both master suite bathrooms are really small for this level of home. Finally, we have finishes, which I give a 9 out of 10. Great color palette, excellent flooring choice, beautiful kitchen with paneled refrigerator, chunky built-up countertops, you've got 6-foot windows, cabinetry with pull-out drawers and other nice built-ins, nice touches like the La Cornu-inspired 48-inch range, and I really like the choice of light fixtures. All of this, including little touches like the curved backsplashes, will be appreciated by potential buyers too. All of these cohesive selections throughout leaves a great impression. But again, I may be nitpicking here, but there are some details that are off starting at the front door. For one, the front and rear porch decking looks cheap. I know what they were going for, which is a rustic contrast on an overall modern farmhouse aesthetic, but it just doesn't work. A stone patio or tongue and groove wood would have been much more cohesive here. Second, the ADU entry door directly to the side of the front entrance looks like a garage door, not a real entrance. A proper wood door with a 4-light upper window would have elevated the look completely. And another minor one is the light fixture in the main staircase, which falls short, literally. They put in a semi-flush light fixture, which looks stubby and out of place with all that height in the staircase. You really need a hanging fixture to drop down into the center of the stairwell and be a focal point like a piece of jewelry. If these are corrected, my final score on the finishes would have been a 9.3. This house gets a 38.6 out of 50. That's decent, but not enough to justify the premium they are asking over comparable sales. Inventory is rising, buyers are being more picky, and historic seasonality tells us that coming soon after Labor Day, you're gonna have a small pickup in inventory coming to market. All this leads me to believe that this property is going to sit on the market and go through several price reductions and eventually sell for $3.95 million. I make these videos to help you evaluate homes and understand what they will really sell for, so you don't overpay or make the same mistakes when you go to sell. If you want more honest takes like this, please like, subscribe, or share. I post new breakdowns and predictions every week. See you next time.